Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Erica. And in today's video, I'm going to be doing part 2 of a video that I put up on my channel last week, all about starting a YouTube channel. And I had several people, subscribers and viewers, in the comment section just kind of talk about things that I didn't mention in part 1. And so I mentioned to them that, or I asked them in the comment section, would you like me to do a part 2? And they were like, yes, that would be amazing. So thank you to the people that suggested more things for me to talk about so that I could film part 2 of this video. 2 of those people are Dub's Beauty Diary and Pop Skin Reviews. I will have their channels linked in my description box. They are amazing creators and good friends of mine. But before I get there, let me talk to you guys about my eye look today. I did use the Ladybug Glow Everyday Sparkle palette again. I did use the shade right here called Patina, and it's absolutely stunning. It's this kind of like brown, green, peachy, shifting multi-chrome shade. It's amazing. What I did is I popped this shade here called Cacao over both lids, blended that out with coffee. Beautiful. I finally use this shade too. It's lovely. And then I just popped Patina over the top of both lids, over the top of this shade, Cacao. And I just love this palette. I love it. This shade right here, not only is it beautiful, but it's so easy to manipulate on the eyelids. It just went on beautifully, like butter. And this palette has now been released on the Ladybug Glow Etsy shop. Of course, I will have that linked in my description box. I do have an affiliated code with the brand. It's Erica10. It will save you 10% off your purchase. Feel free to use it. Feel free to not use it, but I just wanted you to know that it is there for your use if you'd like to use it. So let's get into the meat and potatoes of this video. Okay, so what I want to start off by talking about is kind of like the minutia, like the smaller details that actually end up being kind of a big deal with your channel. Thumbnails, titles of your videos, the software that I use to make my thumbnails, and just kind of that whole ball here. So I use 2 different softwares to create my thumbnails. I use PicsArt and Canva. Now Canva is very popular here on this platform, and I discovered Canva through Steph, Not Your Basic Steph, my best friend, sister, and mentor. But then I started watching some tutorials on YouTube about how to create thumbnails, and if I can find the woman that I found and put her in my description box, I will do that. It was over 2 years ago. I don't know if I'm going to remember exactly who it was, but she was super helpful, and she turned me on to PicsArt. Now, you can pay for these, or you can just use the free versions of both, and I use the free versions of both because there are a ton of different options in both PicsArt and Canva that are completely free. Now, you can use them on an iPad, a laptop, or your phone. I create all my thumbnails on my phone, which sometimes that gets a little bit annoying because I don't know, you're using a smaller screen. I think I would have much more fun and maybe be a little bit happier if I use my laptop. I just have never gotten around to putting that stuff on my laptop. And what I typically do is I don't create my thumbnails until after I have filmed the video, because I do try most often, not always, but I would say most of the time, to match my thumbnail to what's going on in my video. I try to do different things with each thumbnail. Use different backgrounds, have different facial expressions. Sometimes I don't, just kind of depends. It just kind of depends on what the content is, what the video is. But I typically will take a picture of myself or a couple pictures, whatever I've decided to do with my thumbnail. And sometimes it takes me a while to figure that out. And I will then take that picture into PicsArt and cut myself out of the picture. You don't have to do that. There's a ton of people that do thumbnails just in their own background, like take a picture of themselves and keep their natural background. And then I do that sometimes. But if I'm not going to do that, then like I said, I'll use PicsArt, cut myself out, and then I'll take that cut out picture, suck that into Canva, and try to find a background that I enjoy. Now, there's tons of free backgrounds, just backgrounds you can choose from. And there's also free templates of YouTube thumbnails that you can replace your picture with or change the verbiage. So there's a lot of options. And I think I just kind of, I don't really know what causes me to create a particular thumbnail over another one. It's just kind of what I think. I try to be as creative as I can be. Like I said, I try to have them be different each time. But you know, I think sometimes they do look similar, and that's just the way it goes. So I think you just kind of have to figure out, do you want to use the stock templates and kind of jazz them up and make them your own? Or do you want to just have a background that you chose and just do whatever you want with your thumbnail? Sometimes mine are super busy. Sometimes mine are super simple and plain, just kind of depends on what mood I'm in. I also did a little bit of research. I don't do a ton of research about my YouTube channel. I really don't, because you hear so many different things that sometimes I get kind of confused. Like one article will say, oh, do this, or one video will say, but don't do that, do this. And I'm like, what? So sometimes it's hard to know exactly what you should do. And I'm also not a super big researcher anyway, except for my true crime videos. I do a lot of research for those. So I think you kind of got to figure out who you are. Are you a researcher or are you not? But what I have determined, not only from my research, but just from talking to other creators, is that the verbiage in your thumbnail should be different from the verbiage that's in the title of your video. I used to do it the exact same. I'd have the same exact wording in my thumbnail that I had in my title. And, you know, I don't know that it really matters for my channel because I'm a small channel and I get around the same types of or amounts of views for each video anyway. I mean, yes, I do have a handful of videos, I would say, that have done better than other videos. But I do think it's fun to kind of like mix it up a little bit, just have different wordage in the thumbnail than you do in the title. I just think that's maybe more eye-catching, and I think it draws more people in. Now, I do want to talk about the clickbait aspect of thumbnails and titles. And you're going to hear people on this platform talk about the fact that they never do clickbait. I would never do a clickbait thumbnail or title. And I call BS on that. Every single creator here on this platform does clickbait. If you have the word new or newly released or shocking or exclusive or only here or whatever, that's clickbait. That is absolutely clickbait. And there is nothing, I believe, wrong with that. The goal is that you want people to come to your channel. And so let's say I have a newly released eyeshadow palette that I'm going to be using in a video, this one right here, say. And rather than putting a picture of this palette, and rather than saying newly released, I just say creating a look with an eyeshadow palette and put it up on my channel. How many people do you think are going to come and watch that? You know what I mean? Not that it's all about the views. It isn't. But you want to have a successful video. You want to have a successful channel. And anyone that says they don't is not telling you the truth. They're just not. I'm sorry, but they're not. Obviously, my channel is not as successful as many other channels here on this platform. I am well aware of that. But I just mean that you want to entice people. You want to get people excited and passionate about your videos. So you do want to word it correctly so that they're coming to your channel to see something new or something old. I've done old school videos too, where I've used old school palettes, and I'm actually going to be doing an old school series here on my channel soon too. And you got to realize too that depending on how you title it, what you're using in your videos, you could alienate some people that aren't interested, but you can also draw people in that are interested. So it's you know, just kind of a mixed ball, and I don't really know what determines that. Some of my videos that I don't think are going to do very well do really well, and then well, from my channel anyway, and then other videos I thought would do amazing, they just don't do so well. So I don't really know why, but don't be ashamed to have wordage in your titles or your thumbnail that you think will draw people to your video. Of course, the clickbait that I really don't like are videos that are titled or thumbnailed in a certain way, and then you go and watch their video and it's completely the opposite of what the title is or what the thumbnail is. Like somebody might say something about like they hate this newly released eyeshadow palette that everybody loves, or they're on the fence about it, or they're not sure, or, you know, they're struggling with it or whatever. And then you go and watch their video and they love the palette. That kind of stuff I don't do. And that kind of stuff just kind of doesn't sit well with me. But, you know, to each their own. Everybody's entitled to do whatever they want here on this platform. That's the beauty of YouTube. You can do whatever you want. I just steer clear of doing that. I really do try to have a very accurate thumbnail and title to each one of my videos. I touched a little bit on the research aspect of YouTube, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about that now. When you do start a channel, you're going to have your own little YouTube studio that you can go in and access, and you have your whole analytics section, and it's going to give you a ton of information, some of which I still don't really understand what it's even telling me. And I do go and look at those things sometimes, but it can be kind of maddening. For instance, I have looked at my analytics in terms of what time of day is best for me to upload a video, because it gives you like a breakdown each day of the week and each hour of the day as to when you are having the most viewers watching your channel. and it gives you ideas of when you should upload a video to have the most views. And I've done that before. I have looked at that and then uploaded a video at the time that my analytics are telling me are good for me to upload, and nobody watched my video until hours later. I also, obviously look at my subscriber count, which goes up and down, up and down, up and down all the time. And since I've hit 1,000 subscribers, it's slowed way down my subscriber gaining. And that can be maddening if you get too focused in on that. I really just try to check it maybe once a week. I really want to advise that you don't get super caught up in your analytics in your YouTube studio, because like I said, it can be very maddening. And you think you're doing all the right things based on what your analytics are telling you, and then it doesn't always work for you. So I just think it's about doing what works for you in your daily life. If it works well for you to upload first thing in the morning before you leave for work, do that. If it works well to upload during the day sometime or in the evening, like whatever works, just do that. But, I do think it's nice to have the analytics. I think they're there for a good reason and a good purpose. But I don't know. I just really caution you on getting too dived in to your analytics, because and things change. So that's another thing too you got to be aware of. You might get used to doing something a certain way, and then your analytics are going to change on you, and then you feel like, shorts is another great way to bring traffic to your channel. However, I have noticed over the past couple of months that my shorts views have just plummeted. And I've talked to a couple of my friends here on this platform. I just talked to one actually a couple days ago. And we were discussing the fact that our shorts views have just gone into the toilet. And I don't really know why that is. But shorts are a really fun way to bring people to your channel with not a ton of work. My shorts takes me about, 2 to 3 minutes to film them. I edit them and then pop them up on my channel. And they're really fun. So that's another way to kind of create things and experiment with different content, is through your shorts. There's also other tools that you can use here on this platform. There's something called VidIQ. There's a free version of VidIQ and a paid version. And that kind of helps you, gives you different ideas of content that you can film. It helps you maybe tweak your titles a little bit better, so that you can put different verbiage in there so that maybe you'll attract more traction or attract more attention, and more people will come and watch your videos. I kind of use that sometimes, but I don't know that I've ever gone with a title that VidIQ suggested for me. And honestly, I don't really understand how VidIQ works, to be honest with you. I feel like I'd need to pay for it in order for it to really work for me the way that I want it to or think it should. I don't know. But it is kind of interesting. And they do send you really fun little emails when you hit certain milestones. Like when I hit 1,000 subscribers, I got this cute email. It's like a plaque, looks like a plaque, saying, 1,000 subscribers and your pictures on it and your channel names on it. And then I reached 70,000 views, and I got a little email with that. So that's kind of fun to have. But like I said, I'm just not someone that does a ton of research. So I don't know that VidIQ is something that makes a lot of sense for me to have. It might make more sense for you to have it, but it is there to just kind of help navigate you through certain things with your channel. Like I said, video ideas, titles, that kind of stuff. Also be prepared that when you do start a channel, you're going to get tons of emails and tons of messages on Instagram and maybe even Facebook, unless you don't have Instagram and Facebook. I don't have Facebook, so I can't really speak to that. But I get a ton of emails and a ton of messages from SEO creators, or not creators, SEO, what am I trying to say? SEO experts. There we go. I finally figured out what the word was. Search engine optimization experts. And they're going to offer you all kinds of fun stuff. They want to work with you. They want to help grow your channel. You pay them some money and they're going to just revolutionize your channel. And maybe they will. But keep in mind, I don't know who any of these people are. I have no idea who these people are. I don't know if it's legitimate. I don't know if this is real, or if they're just pretending to be these people so that they can, or have this kind of job so they can get my money and then rob me blind. Who knows? If that's something that you want to do, go for it. But I would just be careful, cautious, because, and maybe look into these people before you just say, oh, sure, I'll work with you, and here's $5,000. which I'm sure most of you probably already know this, but I was just shocked. I didn't have any idea that that was what was going to happen when I started my channel, was getting these just, you know, bombarded with emails and messages of people are like, oh, I can help you. And your videos basically suck. And they don't have any of the right words in them. And your SEO score is 0 or -0 or whatever. And I'm just like, okay. I mean, yes, I do want to be successful on this platform, but I'm as successful as I feel comfortable with at this point. I'm fine with where I'm at. So I don't really need all that, you know, all the bells and whistles that they say they're going to offer me. Who knows? So just keep in mind that's going to happen. And then, I just usually just delete them and sometimes block them if they don't leave me alone. I also use a program that I found on my iPhone App Store called Intro Aid. And that helps me create my intros and my outros to my videos. There's a paid version and a free version, and I use the free version. I mean, you can see a theme here. I use the free version of most everything because I'm kind of cheap. Plus, I just don't feel like I need to pay for these things. They have so many different options to choose from that to me, it's just, I don't know, it just kind of seems like a waste of money. But that's just me. Intro Aid is really fun because it comes with different backgrounds that you can choose from for your intros. Different font styles. You can pull your own pictures in. You can just, they have all these like little icons, YouTube icons like the thumbs up and the subscribe and the watch or whatever. All kinds of really fun stuff. And they have all kinds of different music that you can choose from too, which is really cool. And if you've noticed at the beginning of my videos, at the end of my videos, at the very bottom right corner, you can see it says Intro Aid. And there's intros that are, I think, 20 seconds long, 5 seconds long, 10 seconds long, all different kinds of themes. I think I already said that, but they're really fun, and it's a great system, and it works really well on my phone. I don't know that you can get that on a laptop. I don't know. And I don't know that you can get that through an Android system, but check into it because you might be able to. I just happen to have an iPhone. But highly recommend checking out Intro Aid if you're wanting to have an intro or an outro. You may be somebody that doesn't care about that kind of stuff, but I just think it's really fun. I like having that. Another thing that I did when I very first started filming was I had my settings to my camera set to mirror image, I think it was. Is that right? So everything I held up, like let's say, hold up this palette, it was backwards. So the writing was flipped backwards and I was backwards. I mean, I don't know that that really mattered. My whole room was backwards. Everything behind me was in backwards. So like if you tried to read that sign right there that says "You Are My Sunshine," it was backwards. And I had it like that, I think, for the first 2 or 3 videos. And several people said, you might want to check your camera settings because you're backwards. Everything you're holding up is backwards. And I was like, oh, geez, I don't know why I didn't think of that, but I didn't. And I had no idea how to change that. So I just went on to Google and I Googled my kind of phone. I have like a very generic iPhone. It's like an iPhone ES or something like that. And said, how do I turn the mirror function off? And it gave me very good directions on how to go into my settings, go into my camera and turn that off. It was either turn it on or turn it off. I think I turned it off. And so now when I film, everything's right side around. So things aren't backwards. And I do think it's important that you look into that because I do still see several people on this platform that are filming backwards, which, I mean, if that's what they want to do, I'm not the expert here. I'm not a judge of anybody, but I just think it's better to orient yourself correctly for your audience so they can see things how they actually look rather than having it be backwards and having them try to figure out what it says on the palette or what it says on stuff that you're holding up. So look into that. I just think it's worth it. And I would say that most phones, when you Google the phone, Google that information, Google will give you step-by-step directions on how to do that. Another part of having a channel is criticism. You're going to get criticism, not only from your viewers and subscribers, you might get it from other creators, and you also might get it from people that are in your personal life, friends, family members, coworkers, whatever. And I've gotten some of that. Some of it is constructive criticism, and I've taken that in and I've maybe changed some things on my channel, or changed how I do some things on my channel. Other things, I just let it roll off my back. You know what I mean? I don't really spend a lot of time discussing with anyone really what I'm going to film. Sometimes I do. I think I did that more when I first started because sometimes I just didn't really have any idea what to film. And so I'd ask Steph or other friends of Katie or other friends of mine on this platform for advice and ideas. But I really don't share a lot about what my ideas are in terms of filming with other people. I mean, I will talk about my future plans here on my channel with you guys. Of course I will, but I don't necessarily sit down with other people and say, okay, this is what I'm going to do, because everyone has an opinion. And a lot of times my opinion and their opinion are completely different. And they'd be like, oh no, don't do that. But yet I'm really passionate about doing it. You know what I mean? I think if you're concerned maybe about how a certain video is going to come off or a certain topic's going to come off, then maybe run that by somebody that you really trust and admire and respect. But I don't think that everybody and their dog needs to know every single plan that you have for your channel. It's all about what you want to do, what you want to bring forth on your channel, and allowing other people into that space isn't always necessary, because I do feel like you might get a lot of unwarranted negativity that can happen. And really what I try to do when I get negative comments or negative feedback, if I think it's totally off base, like I said, I just let it roll off my back. And some things I also have to understand that it's not meant to be super negative. It's just meant to give me someone else's perspective. So I know I'm probably being kind of confusing here, but I just think if you have plans for your channel that you're really passionate about, go for it. Don't let what other people say influence the things that you bring forward on your channel. I know I kind of talked about that in my first video too, so I'm not trying to be super repetitive, but it's just kind of learning how to wade through the criticism, because you are going to get it. Absolutely. I am very fortunate that I haven't gotten a ton of negative comments or a ton of negative feedback, but I have gotten some. And, you know, that's just the way life is. Not everybody's going to be on board with what you're doing. And that's too bad. That's their problem, and it needs to stay their problem. Also, if you're struggling with ideas to film about or what kind of videos to create, go look at other people's content that you really enjoy. You know, I've taken a lot of ideas from other creators. I will always credit them with the idea. Like I've done BH Cosmetics palette rankings, ColourPop palette rankings, top 5, bottom 5, would I or wouldn't I, just all kinds of different things that I've taken from other creators. And, you know, maybe some people feel that that's like stealing creative ideas or something. I don't know. But you are going to, I think, well, I don't know for sure, but you might reach a point where you're just kind of creatively stalled out and you just don't really know what to do. I think it's perfectly reasonable to pull things from other creators. I mean, we all do each other's tags. We all get inspiration from each other. And I think it's a compliment, really. When I do a video that somebody else started or somebody else did, and I get that idea from them, I'm really, honestly, when I do that video, I'm trying to flatter them, because I'm so amazed at their content that I want to like replicate it on my channel. Do I do that? I don't know. Probably not. But it's still fun to glean ideas from other people. And I really do think that's an okay thing to do. I think really that's kind of what we're here for, is to support each other, give each other ideas, and don't feel weird about that. Like I said, I do credit the person that I got the idea from, but I really don't think it's not like, you know, the videos that are on this platform are patented or something. I mean, I think that it's kind of a free-for-all. You can just kind of do what you want. But it is really fun to go watch other people's content that you really enjoy, and then, you know, try to replicate that content. Something that Annette said in the video that I watched that I cannot find on her channel to link in my description box for some reason, but she said that it's really important to film content that you enjoy watching. That was some of the best advice I've ever received. So yeah, do that. If you kind of stall out with creative ideas, go check out the creators that you love and enjoy, write some things down, maybe tweak it to how you would maybe make it different or something, but go ahead, you know, take other ideas from other people, especially people that have a lot of experience on this platform. They have the experience and they have the knowledge, and I think it's really, really fun and kind of a cool tribute to them to do those kind of videos. The last thing I'm going to talk about here today is balance. Dub's Beauty Diary and Pop Skin Reviews both talked about in the comment section of my part 1 video about how they struggle with balance in having a YouTube channel and then having a life outside of their YouTube channel too. And I definitely struggle with that. This is not something I do full-time. It's never going to be anything that I do full-time, ever. So I do have a full-time job. I am married. I have adult children. I have a grandson. I have a dad. I have friends, family, a household to run, pets, a car. You know, there's a lot of roles that I have in my life, or a lot of things I have to take care of in my life. And there are lots of times when I get so into so hyper focused on my YouTube channel because it's so much fun and I'm so passionate about it. And I have all these things I want to do and all these things I want to film, edit. And I'll look around my house. I'm like, things in here are a pigsty. I need to like stop with the YouTube channel and go, you know, do dishes, laundry, vacuum, whatever. And yes, my husband does help me a lot, but he also has a full-time job and he's typically pretty damn tired when he gets home from work. So we do split things, and it's not all his responsibility to make sure that the house is running smoothly. It's both of ours together. So I have to stop myself sometimes and be really aware of the fact that I've put so much energy and time and emotion and blood, sweat, and tears into my YouTube channel. And sometimes I have to slow down a little bit. I do think it's good to, on occasion, to take breaks from YouTube, take some time off. I think it helps to kind of rejuvenate your creativity. Sometimes when you get so hyper focused on filming and editing, you kind of like almost in a way kind of lose your creative edge. Not always. And that I know we're all different. Some of you might be thinking, no, I don't do that. I actually get more creative when I'm doing more videos. I don't know. But I do think it's fun sometimes just to take a break, just to reinvest back into your life outside of YouTube and then come back to it because you just kind of have a new, fresh perspective. I've done that a couple of times and I'll do it again, especially over the summer. Because I'm going to have to take time off work and stuff like that. Not that you guys care. But I do think it's important to take some breaks. And I just think it's important that you find a balance. I really wish that I would just sit down and figure out a filming schedule. That would make so much sense for me. I just film and edit when I have the time. Usually filming in the morning before work and then editing in the evening. Or sometimes I'll film one morning, edit the next morning. But I think I would find a little bit more balance if I just had a filming schedule. And again, I want to remind you guys, I know I said this in the first video, if you want any advice, if you have any questions, please ask me. I'm totally fine with that. I would love to be of any help that I can be. You know, I had so much help and so much inspiration when I first started. And if I could give any of that back, I would be thrilled to do that. Absolutely thrilled. So please do not be embarrassed. Do not be intimidated or afraid or think it's a dumb question. No questions are dumb questions. Ask me. That'd be fine. You can either do it in the comment section or get a hold of me on Instagram. We can chat there too. Whatever works best for you. I know this video is pretty rambly. I cannot wait to sit down and edit this. Sometimes my videos are so rambly and I'm editing and it takes me forever and I'm like, come on. Oh, one more thing I do want to talk about with editing is that editing can be quite the process depending on how you want to edit. Just to kind of give you an idea, I usually film anywhere from a 20-minute video to an hour-long video. And depending on how long the video is, it takes me anywhere from an hour to 3 hours to edit. My true crime videos can take me up to 5 hours to edit. So be prepared for that. And that may make you feel like I don't want to edit then. And that's great too. So just wanted to be kind of transparent about how long the editing process sometimes can take for me. Thank you guys so much for taking time out of your lives to sit down and watch this video. If you're new here and you enjoyed what you saw, please consider subscribing, smash the like button, and of course, comment down below in the comment section. I love to chat with you guys there. If you've been here before, thank you so much for coming back. I cannot wait to see you guys again on my next video. But in the meantime, please take very good care of yourself. Be well, safe, happy, and I'll see you soon. Bye.
Drop it.